It's the 21 precepts that Miyamoto Musashi lived his life by. And when I say he's the greatest samurai of all time, like he murdered over 60 people
Mm.
and straight up one-on-one battle and fought in wars and like they just couldn't kill him. He was a gangster. Ooh, Blue Chew. Ooh.
Ooh, Blue Chew.
Someone trying to get the party started. I see those ads. Those ads. That's that one. There's a couple other that I think run on TikTok and IG all the time. Like I'm like, man. And it's not just from my phone. I see it from so many other people's phones too when they go on there. I'm like, oh my goodness. They're pushing that, and politics are going crazy right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, as more people are coming in, I thought really hard about what I want to say, what I'm grateful for. And this is kind of dope because I don't know if I've done this one ever on the podcast. And I honestly haven't done this one in a while, personally. I am extremely happy and grateful for myself. I'm really, really, really enjoying where I'm at and how much I've had to overcome. So I'm extremely grateful for myself and the work I've had to put in and the work that I'm going to continue to do in order to be a greater version of myself. Like I'm grateful for me and grateful for where I'm going. As Matthew McConaughey said one time on an award speech, his hero is 10 years from now. And I'm starting to understand. I understand that mind frame, and I'm starting to look at life a lot differently. Like I'm not where I want to be, but I'm gonna work hard to be there in 10 years, knowing that in 10 years I'm gonna want to be further. So yeah, it's dope. Today's topic is gonna be an interesting one. I know a couple weeks ago we talked about how taming, quote unquote, taming a man, and so mastering the alpha, can a man truly be tamed? And this one should be hot and heavy as people fill in, and I want to get the people going. Especially I want to have this talk with women and I want to have this talk with men as well, like no doubt. So I want to wait, let things fill in, make sure that you let me know what you're grateful for, and let me know how your weekend was, all that stuff. Like, and there'll be we'll be putting out a podcast that my first interview I did on this podcast, I did it with a former UFC fighter and the man who's got the most KOs in the UFC, Matt Brown. That interview will be coming out soon. Super dope. I feel extremely grateful that he was willing to jump on the podcast and do that live in the studio. So it was super dope. There'll be a couple clips coming out this week of him dropping some bows on my head. So that'll be funny. But yeah, mastering the alpha, can a man truly be tamed? So yeah, first of all, no. Let me just throw that out there right now. Get rid of all the suspense. Let me just say that no, a man cannot be tamed. Not in the way that most people would think. Not in the way, and I'll take it a step further. Do you even want a man that's tamed? You know what I'm saying? Like the appeal of being with what's the terms they use now? A masculine man. The attraction to that, right, is the fact that he's powerful within himself, that he's strong within himself, that he knows where he wants to go, he knows the path he wants to walk, and he's not anyone to be trifled with, right? That is what really makes him a strong man. He doesn't have to like be strong as far as like bench 500 pounds, but he's strong because he knows himself. And when you think about that and you think about taming that person in a certain light, like what, you're gonna put a muzzle on him? You're gonna stop him from being who he is? That's gonna end up biting you in the butt later on. So the first answer to that is no, you cannot tame a man. That's not in the way that you're thinking about it. No, you cannot tame a man, right? You will not be able to tame that man. I don't want to dive too far in it because I'm waiting for the women to jump in, because this was such a hot button topic last time a couple weeks ago. All these women were talking about, oh yeah, I want to know, how do we tame a man? How do we tame a man? What do we do? Like, and you can, again, you cannot tame a man in the way that you think you could tame a man. It doesn't work in the ways you think it does. And so that's what makes things comical to me, and also, what's the lack of a better word? Funny, comical, because for some reason, women really believe that they can tame a man. Women really believe that they can change a man. And they spend so much energy and so much time trying to change this man that you don't realize when you change him, if you change him, right, he's no longer the same man that you wanted to be with. And how much, and that may not be a good thing. How much energy did you put into changing him when you could have put it into making yourself better? How much energy did you waste? And if he wasn't what you wanted, then why did you choose that? Right? Why did you choose to be with that man if he wasn't already what you wanted? That's, first of all, it's nobody's job to change somebody else. Accept them for who they are, right? So when I say master and alpha, right, then it's a hot button term, alpha, beta, blah 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 blah. Basically, what I'm saying, in order to master your masculine man, to master the man that you chose to be with, is really to support him and hold him down. It's really that simple. And if he's not the man that you want, then why are you with him? Right? Why are you choosing to lay up with him? Why are you choosing to have kids with him? Why are you choosing to marry him? If you choose someone based on potential, just potential, you'll probably be disappointed every time, because now you're setting your life up for expectations, and the way you have to maneuver to get there, you're more than likely isn't the correct way, and you're going to damage not just him but also yourself, right? And so when you really think about, can a man be tamed, it's knowing how to speak to him, it's knowing when to speak to him, it's knowing when to let him be a man in times where you need to say something. And it's funny because the movie Beauty and the Beast really shows you this, right? This woman doesn't want to be with the strong, good-looking dude because he's too egotistical. She falls in love with this beast, and no matter what, she holds her ground, right? I'm trying to think, the scene where I believe she walks in a room that she's not supposed to walk into, or goes outside or goes somewhere, and the beast ends up getting sliced up, right? And she's cleaning the wound, and the beast gets upset, and like they have like this little argument back and forth, but she holds her ground. But she's not mean, she's not demeaning, she's not anything, and she still takes care of him. And she ends up seeing the softer side, and it ends up Um, you always say, "Come try Journey BJJ." Uh, Journey, like, let me shout out Journey because they move right. They're like less than 3 minutes away from my gym, and I do support them. I do support them. We also have our own BJJ program, but I support the heck out of Journey for sure. Um, yeah. See, we like I support the heck out of Journey. It's super dope. Um, so when when you think about a man, right? It's not on you to change that man. It's on the man. It's and I can speak from like even my point of view on this. So when I was fighting, when I was building businesses, when I'm doing this, I'm so focused on it. And I didn't have I didn't invest any time into other people's emotions. It was like that's illogical. Like I gotta move forward. Let's keep pushing. Like you're not making sense. You're talking just about your feelings. And I'm not trying to talk it through because I'm trying to conquer the world. And so I'm just this monster trying to go forth. And what really showed me something different was my wife, my current wife. And so she didn't, it wasn't always an argument to get me to change. It was more, you're not hearing me. You're not hearing my feelings. And it was like, wait a minute, what? And I had to understand it from a different point of view. And she had patience. And I wasn't being reprimanded all the time. And like I didn't feel like I was dealing with my mom, essentially. And that's very important as a man. And I believe that's where a lot of people, a lot of women make the mistake of speaking with their man. It's like they instantly try to change him. And it's like you speak to him, you don't speak life into him. You speak angrily towards him, and you it sounds like a frustrated mom. And that if we spoke to women in that way, that would be abusive. And no time do we want to be spoken to like that. And you got to understand when they say be submissive and let your man lead, all they're saying is you don't always have to, how can I put this? You don't always have to tell your man how to do things. What you can do is let him try it, and if it doesn't work, you can have a discussion about it later, and or ask him questions. There's a million different ways to deal with that. Now, at the same token, if your man if your man is going in the wrong direction, right? Let's say you're supposed to go here and he took the wrong turn. Or if you're about to, what's the best term, best analogy I heard is like if he's driving you, if you're about to drive off the cliff, don't just keep your mouth shut and be submissive. No, like make sure you don't drive off the cliff. There's no reason for you guys to die like that. You know what I'm saying? If there's times to speak up and there's times not to, and you got to play and you got to figure that out together. The big thing is that if you allow your man to just be himself, he'll come talk to you. He'll come ask you questions. And this is the thing that I think women really don't understand is like if you let your man just be a man, he'll come and talk to you and take your opinion. More than likely, he'll do it that way because he trusts your opinion because you trust in him. I don't know if that really makes sense to anybody out there. If you show that you trust your man and trust what he's doing, he'll actually come talk to you because he values you as a partner because he understands you value him, right? I'm thinking of an example right now. So if I'm doing something with my business, right, and my wife, if my wife just trusts me to go forth, instead of always telling me I'm messing up, instead of telling me what I could do better, telling me to do if she trusts in me, right? Trust in where I'm taking us and values me as the leader in that, I'm going to ask her questions anyway because I value her input. I value what she's got to say, right? Because that's the type of wife I wanted in my life. I didn't want a wife that just was a mute and couldn't provide any value and information to help me grow my business, to help me grow as a person. So now I know my partner trusts me, so I instantly want to ask her, and I value her opinion. And 9 out of 10 times, I'll go with what she says, right? And because I value her opinion. So it's so important to let your man lead and get rid of this, like, I need to change my man. Like, do you realize you are beating this man down by the way you speak to him? If you insult him, right? If you're like, man, you're so dumb, you didn't do this, why are you so stupid? And he's gonna be that man. He's gonna be the fool. He's gonna be stupid. He's gonna be this. One, because that's how you're seeing him, right? So he's gonna be that. But also, that's what you're setting the bar for him to live up to. You want your man to live and exceed and do better? Speak life to him, into him. And if you say, well, he doesn't deserve that, then why are you with him? This is what I don't understand. It's like, yep, Precious, right on. You're supposed to speak life to your husband. Yep, boom. It's, if you are choosing a mate that you are constantly going to rip down and you don't look at them as this powerful being, as this great man, then why are you with him? Why are you with him then? Because now you're upset based on your choice and you're taking it out on this man. You're going to destroy this man and continue to destroy yourself, right? You can walk away from that relationship. That's how you quote unquote tame a man. It's speak life to him, into him, be positive with him. That doesn't mean that you always have to get along, and that doesn't mean you have to like every decision. Sometimes you guys need to sit down and talk. Hey, we're going off the cliff, right? We're veering off the cliff. Let's stop. Let's figure out what we could do together to keep us on this path to go forward. And I talked about it on one of the previous episodes. Figure out what your goals are as a couple, right? Figure out where you want to go in life. Are you on the same path? Are you headed there, right? Because then you have an understanding and now everything is veered towards that. Again, you can't tame a man. You don't want to tame a man. You don't want to put a muzzle on him. You don't want him to doubt his own instincts. You don't want him to feel less than. You don't want him to like second guess himself all the time, because then you're going to lose attraction to him. The things that first made you attracted to that man, you don't want to get rid of all those traits. You want to make them sharper. You want to make them better. You want him to grow. So all the energy you're going to put into him, right? That's going to tear him down and rip him apart because he's not living up to your quote unquote expectation and your standards of life. Put into yourself, make yourself better. Because I guarantee you, any man that's worth a damn, if he recognizes his wife is starting to come up here, he is going to work harder so he can match her or exceed her. And then you got this dope game of you're improving yourselves, and all of a sudden you're way up here on the ladder of life. And you did it together. Because instead of hounding on him to become a better man and degrading him and disrespecting him and making him feel like crap, you put that energy into making yourself better and learn how to communicate better with him. It's understanding that men might be powerful as far as physically more powerful, Like I can't think of a woman in this world that can knock me, that like can beat me in a fist fight, right? That could beat me in a cage, that could beat me in a ring. It's just not gonna happen, right? But a woman could destroy my world with words, especially if I've allowed her in my life and I trust her and I've put her in a position in my life where she has power, right? That's my partner. That's my partner. And it's funny because people forget how you speak to your partner should be the same way you would speak to your friends or your actual business partner. If your business partner made a mistake, you wouldn't come at them and be disrespectful. If your boss made a mistake, you wouldn't come at them and be disrespectful. If your best friend came at you and made a mistake, you would not rip them apart and be disrespectful. So why do you think it's okay to do that to your man? Well, he needs to change and he needs to become this, and this because I don't feel safe. Then why did you choose that man in the first place? Accept that man for who he is, and you both figure out what your goals are. Have that talk. Hey, where are we going with this? Where's our life? What are your goals? What are my goals? Here we go. What are our joint goals? This is where we're trying to go. What can I do to help you reach those goals? To me, that's being more of a submissive woman than what most people think about. Because I don't think the woman just needs to be submissive. I also think the man should be submissive to his woman, right? I think it's equal. You figure it out. You figure out what your roles are in your relationship. You figure out what your roles are in life. I'm not, my wife needs to do all the house chores. Nah, it's my job to help. It's my job to be there and do things too. It's my house, right? But I do believe it's my job to provide. So I'm going to work really hard to provide. And if that means that I'm at home less or I'm able to do less at home, cool. As long as I'm providing. But I gotta still step up and do stuff. I gotta still step up and be a man, right? And if you tame a man, imagine how you tame a lion, right? Or a bear, or a wild animal. Imagine what you have to do to tame that beast. If that beast has to be whipped, that beast has to be like, there's no easy way to tame that beast in a circus to do stuff. You have to if you really, really, really want to tame a beast in the way you think, you have to let it still be a beast. You think about all those videos now where people have lions and panthers and tigers and all this, and the guy could just walk into the confines, right? And it looks cute. The animal jumps in their lap and knocks them down, and they're playing, and it's all that. Or when someone's dealing with an alligator or crocodile. I don't know. Hey, Corey, have you seen these videos?
Mm-mm.
Where even the lions?
Mm-mm.
Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to send you them. But even with the crocodile lion, it's like the first thing they say is like, this animal is not tamed. We respect what the animal can do, and we're just not doing something stupid. Like there's nobody that's cutting their hand and walking into the confines with a lion, tiger, or panther or leopard, because that you're triggering animal instinct, right? No, they're going in there and they're behaving in a manner that shows respect to the animal, and the animal is respecting them. If the animal gets out of pocket, they'll do something. When someone's dealing with the alligators, they're not putting their hand right next to the side of the mouth where it's going to get chomped. It's usually above or below, so they can control. They understand how to keep themselves out of danger, but they respect the animal. These aren't tamed animals. They're still wild, ferocious beasts. People have forgotten that we are animals. Humans are animals. A human is responsible for the bear, not the other way. Wait, what? Heidi, what do you mean? What do you mean by that? So, and when you think about taming, humans are responsible for the alligator, not the other way around. But what do you mean responsible? Because sometimes they're like these wilderness places or these nature places, the public just can't go in there, right? So they're, what do you mean responsible? So when you're thinking about things as far as a man, let's go back to the easiest thing. We're animals. Humans are another form of being an animal. We're mammals. We're mammals that we think differently, and it's allowed us to become apex predators where we can kill other things and we're not limited, right? But we're still animals. And there's nothing worse than a beaten down man, because when he ends up firing back, he fires back violently. Now, it doesn't mean physically. It could be with words. He could yell. He could change his tone. He could be aggressive. Like, there's nothing positive about that man. And it happens when you beat that animal down enough, when you continuously beat that animal down. They end up striking back. Imagine having a dog that you constantly beat. One day it's going to snap back, and that's not what you want. You want to give that animal love. And nobody gives better love to a human being than a woman. You can't convince me of anything else. Men are capable of giving love for sure. And I believe in a lot of ways we love deeper, because a lot of times we're willing to die for our partner. We're willing to sacrifice everything for our wives and kids. But nobody breathes life into a man better than a woman. Like, when my wife tells me she's proud of me, there's no better feeling in the world. When my wife is excited about the moves I'm making or tells me I'm doing a great job, like, there's no better feeling than that. Maybe it's just me, but there's no better feeling than seeing my wife happy and happy with the choices I'm making and proud of what I'm doing. It's the best feeling in the world. Like, I'll take that over anything else any day. When I know that my wife is proud of the man I am and proud of the things that I'm doing, like, it makes me want to live up to that and do better each time. Each time. Like, there's no better feeling than that in the world. So that's the support of a goat. Yeah, when there is nothing better to me and to most men. So, like, if your man is messing up, right? If your man is like, I'm trying to think of a simple one. If your man is doing the dishes, right? I think me and my wife talked about this on an episode. And he's doing the dishes differently than you want. I have friends that their wife would just dig into them. Like, I told you not to do the dishes like that. The dishes are supposed to be done like this and blah, 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 blah. Like, I have friends that have wives like that. And it's like, why are you doing that? Because how is that encouraging your man? First of all, if he does do them like that, he's not going to want to. He's doing it so you can shut up. How is that healthy? He's essentially doing this so you shut up. That's not love. He's not doing it because he loves you. He's doing it so he doesn't get yelled at. How is that not? That's different. That's the same as a mom. I don't want my mom to yell at me. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want my teachers to get mad at me, so I'm going to do it their way. Right? This is a grown-ass man. You're beating the instincts out of him of being a grown-ass man. Stop it. Just stop. Like, tell him he's doing a great job. Tell him you appreciate it. Ask him, say, hey, I know you're doing dishes, and have a talk of why you want it this way. You know what I'm saying? Like, this way you'll use less water. Our water bill will be a little bit less, blah, 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 blah. or this. Have that talk. And then listen to him. He might say, well, you know what? I hear that. I'm not worried about the water bill. We got the money. We're good. This is the way we're going. And that's just an example, right? There's a million other times that can come into play. One of the things that I know that really bugged me in my previous marriage, and one thing that I made clear that I don't want to ever happen again, is like if I'm reprimanding my child, my son, the mom stepping in. Because I'm not laying my hands on him, but he might need his butt chewed right then, right? And if you're chiming in, if you're cutting in to protect your son, to be mama bear, like now we have a problem, because now it's disrespect across the board, and you're taking away what the word I'm looking for. You're taking away the power of the dad. If you think I went overboard, if you thought it was basically overkill for the situation, we can have that talk in private, right? But have my back in the meantime. Like, support what I'm saying. Because when push comes to shove, when that young man isn't listening to you, what is every mom that is struggling with their boy and say that, and what's the first thing they say if the dad is in the life? Do I need to call your dad? What is a son? What is kids? Which parent usually did the kids not want to know their mess ups? It's usually the dad. What's that like in your house, Corey?
What?
Is it basically the same thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if my son is moving slow, if my son is not listening to his best ability, my wife in a heartbeat will be like, do I need to call your dad? Boom. He straightens up, gets right to it. She doesn't like it. She wishes that he would just follow all orders off the bat. And I'm sure every woman does. But it's because you don't put fear in a child the way a man does. And I've never put my hands on that's not what I do. I don't put my hands on my kids. I think I put my hands on my son once, and I put my hands on my daughter once. I cried when it was my daughter. It bugged me. It bothered me more. And it's not something that I ever wanted to have to do. I've always prayed that my words would be enough. But there's that, my son knows, like, we wrestle, right? We wrestle, we joke around. He knows I'm not to be tested. And there's that respect. There's respect there. So if dad gets called, if you take away that power, then what's the son going to respect, right? What's the son? You can beat that kid as a mom, but I'm telling you, the respect factor isn't there the same way usually. I'm not saying there aren't sons out there that aren't afraid of their moms. There are not kids out there not afraid of their moms, right? And sometimes they fear their mom more than their dad. But nobody in that house wants dad to be upset. Nobody wants dad to be cranky and upset and snapping out. Because that is like a wild beast. So don't cut away his power. Don't cut him off at the legs. Speak life into that man. Support that man. In every sense of the word. If your man is working a 9 to 5 and he's coming home and he's like, man, I don't want to do this the rest of my life. I want to build a business. Everything in you is going to want to run and be scared. Oh, what are we going to do about a paycheck? Oh, how are we going to do this? No, speak life into your man. Really? What do you want to do? What is it that you want to build? Okay. Ask him some questions and then encourage him to build more. Like, well, yeah. Have you put a plan together? Like, can I see the plan? No, I haven't put it together. It's still in my head. Cool. Well, do you need help writing this plan? Like, do you see what you could do? He knows he can come to you. Even if you don't know what you're doing, you both can do research together. Instead of letting the fear dictate everything and you just coming out of your mouth and saying, oh, don't do that. No. What are we going to do about money? And da. That's not supporting your man. Speak life into him. Put love into him. Let him know that he's a powerful man. Let him know he's a good man. Give him the things for him to live up to. You don't have to go the opposite way. The opposite way won't work. It doesn't work the same way. Speak life into him. Like, it's really that simple. That doesn't mean we don't get into fights. That doesn't mean that we don't disagree. That doesn't mean, no. I want you to have a powerful voice. You're my queen. You're my partner. I want you to feel powerful. But with power comes responsibility. And how you speak to me, you are responsible for your own words. You're responsible for the things you say. Because you don't want me to say those same things, right? I guarantee a woman does not want her man to speak to her in any certain way. So how you speak to that man matters. You can be upset. You don't got to raise your voice. You could be upset. You don't got to call me out my name. You could be upset. You could be all this stuff. No one's saying you can't be upset. But it's your job to speak life into me. And it's my job to provide and protect and make sure that we're good. I got to go to war when I go walk out these doors. If I work a 9 to 5, I got to go to war. You got to work a 9 to 5, you got to go to war. Cool. We both went to war. I want to come home. I definitely want to speak life into you. I want to know that you're good. I want to hold you down, but I need the same. And how we speak to each other is differently. Can you scroll up? Let's look at this. Ooh, lots of people are chiming in. So don't.
That's where we were.
That's the support of a good woman. And
go up a little bit more. So let me go back to this because we know we were.
Humans are responsible for the alligator, not the other way
sure
around.
We got an answer to that one.
Right. We are responsible for more as a collective than any animal. Okay, and vice versa. Why don't men want to court, then get mad, no love? Why? Whoa. For now, if for now still here, why don't men want to court? I'm guessing you're talking about court the woman. Here, I can tell you why. We would gladly court a woman if we couldn't smash right away. Have fun with that. The reason why men used to court women back in the day is because we would have to court them, and before we could smash. We would have to put in the work before we get smashed. We would have to show that we are good men before we get smashed. We would have to do all this before we could smash. Now, I'm not telling us to go back into that time. But if you don't make us work for it and show that we're a good man, then what are our standards? Women, you hold all the power. I don't know how women don't understand that. You hold the power. Because if I take a woman out and I can smash right away and I didn't have to do nothing for it other than spend a couple of dollars, take you to a nice restaurant, if that, what am I doing here then? Right? I don't have to prove nothing to you. I don't have to show you anything. And what makes it so hard in this society, again, I'm not saying let's go back in time. I'm saying, like, if you let one dude smash that way and you let another dude smash that way, and then all of a sudden you want to hold the standard for another guy, that makes it tough, right? So that's what I would say about the courting. That's the support of a good woman. Yeah, thank you. Hard to find these days. Happy wife, happy life. Why is it just a happy wife? Because I guarantee you, if the wife is happy and the man isn't happy, it's not a happy life. Happy wife, happy husband, happy life. And let's go, and I'll take it a step further. It's not even about being happy. Because happy is, you could be happy today and 5 minutes later not be happy. Right? So I don't go with that motto, happy wife, happy life. Because now you're basically saying the man doesn't matter. And we know that's not true. Don't bother doing the dishes. It's not worth the fight. Start buying paper plates. I mean, yeah, if a woman was constantly yelling at you, for sure, get paper plates. It works both ways. Ask her why she resents you. If resents a man, why does a man have to ask why she resents him? That's an open conversation. That's where check-ins are needed. Like, what's my favorite question? I want to word it correctly. I ask my wife this probably every 3 months, 4 months right now. I say, is there anything that I could be doing better as your husband? And is there anything that you're lacking, or is there anything that you want? Basically those questions, because we need to check in, right? We need to check in. We need to say, I need to make sure that everything is on par, that you're good, that I'm not slipping in some area, right? Especially because I'm so busy. And like the one thing that I know she really wants right now is like to make a trip to go hang out with her family as husband and wife. She's been hanging out with her family just with her. So it's important to her that we go as husband and wife. So I'm freeing up time for that. Right? Like undermining authority. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Undermining authority for real. That's something I do struggle with. We are working on it, and the fighting we would have before are less. Alicia, like it's so important that you support the father of your child. Let him be a man, especially if it's a son, because that's how he's going to learn how to be a man. And there's sometimes where I can get really, where I can lecture too long, and my wife will just give me a look. And it's like, okay, I'll shut I know I need to wrap it up. And then she'll be like, yeah, you got your point across within the first couple minutes. And like, I understand you just wanted to keep going. And it's like, cool. Like I'll be mindful of that later. But we're not having that talk in front of my son. Like, that's not happening. So because Pops wears the belt, yeah. We can easily accidentally create resentment in our kids by over disciplining and coddling. Yeah, for sure. I made him exercise some good military workouts. Oh yeah, my son does burpees. If he fusses or whines or doesn't listen, burpees for sure. Pops don't wear the belt. Stop putting fear in kids' heart. Well, look, I don't know your name, but I'm just gonna say it's okay if kids fear parents while a little bit, right? It's okay. Now, I'm not telling them fear you in the way that you're going to beat them. No, I'm not saying that. But there has to be a healthy fear there. Yeah, like Corey just said it, accountability. We got to hold our kids accountable. And there has to be a fear that if I mess up, there's going to be a punishment. And that's like you have to, and that's how you instill discipline. There has to be a fear there, somewhat, especially when you're starting. That doesn't mean a fear of you, right? But you gotta make sure there's a line in the sand, like you will not do this. Otherwise, you'll have kids just going off doing dumb things, right? Like I would say a lot of the issues within our own within the minority community, especially the Black community, is there's not enough dads around. I don't want to have a discussion of why that is, right? But there's definitely not enough dads in their kids' life. We need kids. We need dads in their kids' life, especially young. I mean, both, because it's on us to teach our daughter and what kind of man to choose, and it's on us to raise our sons to be good men. Like, and there's got to be a healthy fear. If there's not fear, then you're not really living life the way it's supposed to be. Because trust me, a man doesn't come up and say something stupid to me because I'm a nice person. A man doesn't come up and say something stupid to me, even if he wants to, out of fear that he might get smacked up. That's fear. There's a fear of why you don't break into someone's house. One, you might get shot by that person. You might get your head smashed in, but then you're afraid to go to prison. Fear. Fear creates order. Now, how you create that fear is another story. I don't need to create that fear by beating my kids. I create that fear because I'm going to hold my ground. This is what I stand on. If you cross this line, you will be grounded. If you cross this line, I will give you so many burpees, you will cry. If you cross this line, you will not get to play video games. You will not get to do the things that you want to do. That's how you hold that line. Fear is not respect. He learns to be aggressive to solve problems and silent to avoid them. I don't concur with that. I don't concur with that because and this is where we got to understand that men and women look at this differently. Why don't men just go around slapping other men all the time? Because they respect that other man just as he's nice? No, they respect that they might get slapped back, that they might go to prison, like I just said. So I need my son to fear that if he messes up at the start, right? If I don't want to mess up because I might have to do burpees, cool. And then as they get older, you explain why this is. I want you to get good grades so you can be successful in life. I want you to get good grades. I want you to try your hardest. And whatever grade you get, so be it, because that creates a discipline that you can carry with you the rest of your life. As they get older, you can explain in more detail. But how do you explain to a 2-year-old not to do something? How do you explain to a 5-year-old not to do something? Like, you could try it, and by all means, like within reason, you do that. But also, they may not stay in pocket, and you make them do some burpees. So then they fear doing the burpees. Then you can explain it when they get older. Is there a better way to explain that, Corey? Okay. These mothers can't raise sons with no father's help. My dad made me join the army, and I'm retired now. Dope. But yeah, because he is supposed to be able to plan. The mothers now want their sons to be skirts and wigs. That's a whole nother conversation. I'm going to be honest, big dog. I dropped out of high school back in 2009 because I have anxiety. See, that sucks, man. Anxiety is like stressing about the future. That I was street smart. I used to encourage my ex-husband easier ways to do things, even introduce new foods, but he hated that I was street smart and had no good ideas. So that's an interesting mix. So, whoa. So, Sarah, if I can't, without talking to your ex-man, I have no idea. I'd have been interested in why he didn't listen. Was it the presentation? Was it how you brought it to him? And again, you might take it as I'm blaming you. I'm not. I'm asking questions on the presentation. Is there a better way you could have presented it? And then was he asking for this stuff? Right? So like, what do you say? Can you scroll back up just a little bit? What was the whole thing? It was something about food in there. I used to encourage my ex-husband easier ways to do things, even introduce new foods, but he hated it. So cool, you introduced new foods to him. Was he like running a restaurant or something, or you were just trying to expand his palate? You can't, if you're constantly doing that and he doesn't want to do that, it's like making a little kid eat vegetables that they don't want to eat. The difference is they're your kid and you know it's better for them. You got to be okay if he doesn't want to do that. Once in a while, like, you can bring it up, but if he feels like you're just pressuring him into doing something, it's going to end up causing resent. Someone says I'm rambling. I didn't think I was rambling. I homeschool my daughter because of the same reason. Her social anxiety is so bad. So, social anxiety. So there's a lot of different reasons for that. I'm not chiming into that one right now. If you inbox me, whoever said that, I'll talk about anxiety and we'll have a full topic on it. So gotta be a catch always. My husband has been chasing me for 18 years. There it is. Ash. You got a blessed husband. You got a blessed husband. Because I bet you the way you just put that, I bet you speaking life into that man. That man comes home ready to go. Like, hey, get over here. We need to go in the room and talk right now. 18 years and he's still chasing you. Oh, you are most definitely doing something right. Most definitely. You are catering to that man's animalistic side while also being a loving woman. If the wife is happy, she's going to make her man happy. But it is not on, okay. I'm glad you said that. Let me stretch for this one. It is not up to us to make you happy. It is up to you to make you happy. We can provide happiness and we can do things that might make you happy, but it is not on us to make you happy. It is not on you to make us happy. It is 100% on you to make yourself happy and do the things that make you happy. Period. Done. Finito. That's not our job. Because happiness is like, and I can say that because I chased trying to make my ex-wife happy. She wanted this one day. I do that. The next day she wants something else. And I'm failing if I don't meet those expectations. Like a woman's wants change so much. Find you a real man. Find you a simple man, a man. His wants don't change that often. He's simple. He can eat the same thing almost every day. He can have the same schedule every day. He can do the same. He will be boring. Matt Brown said it best. A true man is like a straight line. I am boring as hell. I don't do nothing but work, go home. I am boring. I don't need excitement in my life. I'm Gucci. I'm good. My life is enough. A woman, though, and I love Matt, when you guys see this, Matt Brown talked about a woman is like this. And facts. Because her wants change all the time. All the time. And that's okay. That's okay. But it's not on it cannot be up to me to make you happy at this point. I will drive myself insane and we're both going to be chaotic. How does that solve anything? You make yourself happy. Figure yourself out. And that's what I mean. If you put all that stress on your man to make you happy, then what's going to happen? He's going to fail. He's going to fail because your wants change too much. For instance, if my wife is cranky, it's in our vows. I'm so dead ass right now. It's in our vows. I bring her a taco. I go get some tacos because more than likely that'll fix whatever the problem is. I can't do that all the time. Sometimes she's got to figure her way out through that. Because I ain't got time to constantly go out and get tacos. I pick and choose when it's those times. I ask her, hey, have you eaten? Are you hungry? Do you need a nap? What's going on? Right? I can't make her happy all the time. I can't. I refuse. Because if we'll both drive each other crazy doing that. Look at all these women. Happy spouse, happy house, happy spouse. My goodness, man. So what about your man? He's definitely reiterating. He's not saying go back to the past ways. Yeah, most definitely. That's awesome. Keep scrolling. But bro, if I see he's going to sink the ship and not listening to me, am I supposed? No, if the ship is sinking, no, you got to tell, look, I bet you that captain wishes his wife was on the Titanic with him. She probably would have seen the iceberg. You know what I'm saying? Like if we're driving off the road, you tell me I'm driving off road. That's one thing. Like, and your man's got to like listen to that. That's what I'm saying. If he's not a good man, you got to let him go. You got to bounce. That's not the man you want to have kids with. Like, I don't always want to hear what my wife has to say, but I have to hear what my wife has to say because I trust her as my partner. I put her in a position in my life where I should be able to trust what she says. So most definitely, like, you got to, you I go back to, it's the way you speak to them. If someone's coming at me and telling me, oh, why did you do this dumb thing? Why did you, like, are you stupid? Are you dumb? Like, why did you do this? It's like, I'm not even hearing what you're trying to get me to fix. All I'm hearing is that I'm dumb, I'm stupid, and you just belittled that person. You have to pour love into that person. The same way you would want some, like, something dope I learned as a kid. Treat others the way you want to be treated. So I try really hard not to speak to anybody in a way that I do not want to be spoken to. So even with my kids, if I snap, I hold myself accountable. Hey, I just did it with my son. Like I was stressing about the seminar, stressing about tons of other things, working off like 4 hours sleep, going everywhere, and I was just short with my son. I snapped for like a minute, and I was just super short with him, like last Thursday. And my wife gave me one of those looks, and I took a breath, and I sat my happy behind down. I asked him to come over, and I'm like, yo, you know what? My fault, man. My fault. You didn't deserve me to snap like that. That's my fault. He's like, no, it's okay. I understand. Like, no, it's not okay. Thank you for understanding, but it's not okay. Because you didn't deserve that, right? Me not being well rested, me not taking care of myself isn't your fault. My bad. That's my fault. As a man, that's my fault. Now I'm teaching my son to apologize and be respectful, right? That's like, you got to know. And even as a wife, like, no one's saying you're perfect. You might say something, you might just come at your man, but you gotta apologize because he's gonna hold that. One of the dopest things I heard an older woman talk about on an interview is she said, my mom told me never hit a man below the belt because he'll never forget it. A woman could forget it and forgive in like a couple minutes, half a day. But a man, like, we want to be your knight in shining armor so bad. We want to be everything to you. We want to be the man you look to for everything, that it hits us hard. It hits us so hard when you say something that hits below the belt. When we feel like you're demeaning, it like hits. And not saying it doesn't hurt y'all. It does. I know it does. I'm just telling you, like, we hang on to things. Like, that's just how we're designed. We hang on to it. So when one trusts one partner wholeheartedly, but it's not reciprocated. So that's a different conversation, right? So quantum, that's a deep conversation that you need to have with your partner then, because the big thing with that is one of you are, your past has made you, and I see fear, something about, oh no, that's fear of letting parents down. So like, it's someone's past is getting in the way, right? Lack of trust is getting in the way. So they got to let that go and be able to trust what's going on. And the different conversation needs to be had. Like, hey, because I've asked my wife this, like, do you trust where I'm taking us? Do you trust in the direction I'm going? And if the answer is yes, it's like, okay, then then I ask, okay, so I'm curious, you're asking all these questions. What's up? And sometimes she doesn't even know that she's showing a lack of trust, sometimes she just wants all the details and the information. So it's like, do you not trust where we're going? That you have to know every detail? And that's all stems from someone's past, right? So sometimes as a leader, you got to recognize that, and you got to say, okay, they like the gaps filled in. They don't like surprises. They don't, cool. So in order for me to build the trust where I don't have to, so in 10 years, I don't have to explain everything every step of the way, let me explain all the steps right now. Because you need to see the end result. You need to know where we're going. You need to know the vision. Okay, let me explain this now. And sometimes you got to do that. And if you can't do that, then that means you may not even see the vision clearly yourself. And sometimes a wife will just ask you questions to see if you know where you're going. Because you should be able to explain that. You should be able to explain where you're planning on going, right? So a lot of men see that, you trust them and run with it. If they run with it, and if you're saying that they're doing something foul or taking advantage of that trust in a disrespectful way to you, that's not a man to me. That's a little boy. That's a little boy. And you got to understand the difference. And I think a lot of times as a society, we don't understand the difference. I think a lot of women spend a lot of time with little boys, and then they try to raise them to be men. Just let the boys go. Let the boys be boys. Ha! That's funny. Slam! Don't. Okay, but or just accept that he's a boy right now, and accept it, right? Because I'll tell you right now, a man is boring. Like, you want a boring man. A man is boring. A man is really simple. And we're so simple, it complicates you. Because you think we want something more. We don't. A man will just want usually the most simple things in the world. And you could just let him be. A man has no problem sitting alone and being alone. A man has no problem going off and doing what he has to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he shouldn't be taking advantage of you. And if he is, that's a boy. And understand there's a difference, right? There's a big difference. So, yeah, whatever, bro. Mentor my kids. I got you. We all have to do the shadow work, and they fear doing something that may... Wait. We all have to do the shadow work before getting into a lasting relationship. I don't want my kids to fear me. I teach them right and wrong, and they fear doing something that makes sense. Doing something that makes it. Them fall on the wrong side of a decision. I mean, but see, that's a mom, though. Like, moms are always like that. A dad is different because it's a different world for men. I'm telling you, it's such a different world for men. It is. Like, I can count. I'm blessed. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be honest. I'm blessed because most guys can only say it with one hand. I believe I have double digit, what I would call my brothers, Corey being one of them, that I could trust alone with my wife. That right there tells you the world's different. I can't trust every man with my wife. I can't trust every man in that situation. Crap, my daughter's 20. It's about the same with my daughter. Because men are going to go after what other men have. It is what it is. I can't trust many people around with my money. Like, men are, like, imagine if, this is what's crazy to me. If the power grid went out, if we had no power starting right now, oh my goodness. There'd be men killing men, like going after their resources. It would instantly change. And we know that. It would actually put us right back to being the animals we are. Like, so it's just different. What a burpees. Hey, check out my feed. Like I'll make sure that some of my fighters do some burpees. If that's not, he didn't have the idea. He would say he didn't like something but never tried it. So you're dealing with in some ways like, and I don't mean to demean this man or whatever, but in some ways he was acting like a boy because only kids say I don't like that, and they've never tried it. You know what I'm saying? So I agree. Truth, facts. I don't. No one really knows what you want but yourself. Exactly. She said, "I want that type of man." Well, like you got. Here's the thing. You gotta go to work, come home, kick back, and chill. Watch. Yeah, that's yes. See, that's a man. I love that man. Can know how to not make it worse. Can you make your nose stop whistling, please? My nose is whistling. My nose ain't whistling. Oh no, that's out of pocket calling names. Yeah, exactly. I love conversation like this, seeing from another point of view. Keep scrolling, keep scrolling, keep scrolling. Is this only on okay, let me watch
TikTok.
It'll be other places too. Aries, yeah. It'll be other places. Ask them what happened is better than what's wrong.
Slam somebody else said that.
So, like, it's really simple. You cannot let's just be honest. You could trust double-digit amount of men with your wife. Only it's 10. And I don't even know if it's 10. But I'm thinking like I got my brothers from the block. It might be close to 10. But it's not any more than that. I know I can use two hands to count it. And that's about it. Wait, what's the whistling? I wonder if it's no, it's my mouth. Maybe my lips are getting in the way. Man, that I ain't gonna change the way I talk though. There's so much men out here that are lazy and don't know how to work. She said it's my nose. Now people are just saying that because it's gonna bug me.
Never come up in none of the other ones.
I do have a small nose though, so it is what it is.
Bro, I hear no.
So what? There's such a okay. Who is that? Don't know how to work. Well, how are they gonna learn? This is what. Wait, is that a dude saying that or Damon? Here's the thing. How are they gonna learn? Someone's got to teach them, right? Someone's got to help them. Someone's got to educate them. And that comes on both the mom and the dad. The dad has to teach the man how to be a man, and the mom has to support that. And the mom has to show the man how to properly love and navigate through their emotions. Right? And women, yo, you want a man to work hard? Make him earn your love. Like when I say earn your love, I mean you're going on a date with this man and you don't even know if you like him yet, and you give him access to everything you got. He ain't even have to work for it. So I know people talked about courting earlier, but man, you gotta be smart about this. That's why there should be free vocational. Well, now you're talking about something completely way different on that one. The point I wanted to make on this episode is, women, you cannot tame a man in the way you think. When you speak love to that man, when you carry yourself as a woman, Corey, maybe follow me here, Corey.
Okay.
Have you ever been in a room where a woman walks in and her presence is so strong that you actually straighten up a little bit? Like it brings out like a different, it's like, oh, I got to be on point. I got to be a better man right now.
Yeah.
I got to be a better man.
Absolutely.
It's like, and I don't wear, like my pants aren't sagging enough, but if they were, I'd probably pick them up.
It's all about you're trying to change the presentation.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's a woman. And women, I believe, women are so scared, I believe, to be feminine now because they're worried about being hurt. But it's like when you are acting feminine and you are like in your true feminine power, oh my God. There is not to me, there's nothing sexier than that. There's nothing because to me you're gentle then. You're fierce and gentle. Like I know you could come at my neck. I know it. I know it. And it keeps me on my P's and Q's, but you're also so sweet and gentle that it makes me want to do better as a man.
Shows control.
Yeah.
Have such
Oh my
control of
God.
that?
So definitely when a woman has control, it forces me to have control over my most animalistic side. So that's how you tame us. Do you see it? The more you are a woman, the more you are feminine, the more you are that, it makes me want to be a better man. It makes me want to tame the beast inside of me.
Get you where you're at.
Like it makes me want to be, for lack of a better word, civilized. Like the whole reason why I can't fight in Thailand is because of my wife. Like I looked at her and said, this is on you. I meant that and it was funny because she's civil. Like I had to become a civilized person to be with her, to be able to maintain this relationship. I could not be this ferocious beast that wanted to just conquer the world. No, I had to think outside that. My brain, I had to expand my brain. I had to start reading different books. I had to become a smarter individual. I had to move differently. I had to like,
Turn into a butterfly.
yeah, essentially turn into a butterfly. It's like, man, I had to become the wise wolf instead of the wolf that was constantly looking for another fight. And it's like, and what's funny is that it's taking me to the place that I actually want to be in life. So my fight is differently now. My fight is completely different. It's not in the ring anymore. It's not with these. It's with this. And the funny thing is I was using this while I was using these. Now I'm using more of this because I've eliminated these. She's forced me to live by my creed. You control you. All by being a woman. Because she could have got the same result if she would have just beat me to death with her words. If she would have just beat me down. She gets so much further because she doesn't do that. When we do get in a fight, and maybe she's crossed the line, she recognizes that she's not going to get her way on that. It's how she speaks to me. It's how she presents herself. Like, I don't have to worry about my woman, my wife. Nah, you know what? I'm going to say it the way I don't have to worry about my woman stepping out on me. My woman can be straight chaos. It's funny because my son and I kind of make fun of it sometimes. Like, if we come in the house, like I pick him up from practice and she's a little bit cranky and we could tell. We, like just the other day we did it. We went in the kitchen. We're like, shh, shh, She-Hulk is coming. We can't do anything to annoy her. Shh. Let's go find out if She-Hulk needs to eat. And we went around the corner and we're like, psst, psst, are you hungry? Do you need food? Do you need a snack? And she started laughing. I was like, okay, now let's just keep the volume down. And like we turned it into a skit. It was funny because my wife is chaotic. She can get upset. She can look at me and say, I'm mad at you and I don't even know why. It's like, okay, cool. Are you hungry? Like, it's like, do you need to eat? And it's funny because now we know, like she's done some research into it. Most time, and it might even be a joke. When it gets closer to that time of the month, she's just mad because her body's mad and her mind's mad because she doesn't have a baby in her. Period. So it's like, oh, okay. So when she gets, sometimes it's like, oh, honey, it's okay. Baby, it's cool. You just don't got a baby right now. It's okay. Be as cranky as you want. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I try to be lighthearted with it and recognize where the anger is coming from. And sometimes I can't. I'll be honest. Like, some days it catches me off guard. And it's like I just got hit with a whirlwind. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. What's going on here? What are we doing? What are we doing? Where are these words? What's being said now? I got to duck, hide, move, bob and weave. And it's like, oh, wait a minute. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you just need to eat? Why didn't you just say that? I asked you if you were hungry. Come on, man. Like, you got help a brother out here. If I'm asking the right questions, you got to help me out here. So Um,
I'll move back up.
did I miss a whole lot?
I think we're in agreement.
Help us, sir. What do you what do you need help with, Michelle? What you need help? Being extremely feminine to a man makes him take advantage. See, Empress, you've been picking boys. And I understand you may not be able to always tell the difference. Let me tell you this, if I wanted to be with a woman that acts like a dude, why wouldn't I just be with a dude? It's way simpler. Does that make sense to you? If I wanted to be with a masculine woman, I'd just be with a dude. Because I don't want to be with someone that talks like me. I don't want to be with someone that thinks like me. No. That's not what I want. That's not what I find sexy. Payne says, yeah, Karen. What? Yeah, I have no idea what that's about. I'm curious. What is wrong with just being feminine all the time? What? Okay, when you say more masculine, what are you saying? What do you mean? Okay, that's dope. That doesn't mean you're man. That doesn't make you masculine. That means you like sports, right? You don't necessarily need a man that's gonna play basketball and do all that. He doesn't even have to be better than you. You know what I'm saying? Like that I wouldn't say that makes you masculine. What I would say is that just makes you an athlete. That's super dope. And you got to find the right guy that I got you, Empress. You just got to find the right guy that likes that digs that, or that doesn't care. But that doesn't mean you can't be with someone that doesn't like that. That might mean you want to pick a dude that actually likes to train or work out, no doubt, but he doesn't have to be good at sports. Empress says they disguise themselves very well, but yes, it makes sense. Well, Empress, I put it like this. If you keep, I've said this before too, from the great DMX, trust everybody to be who they are. And let me elaborate. If everybody's first thing, including me, and it took me a long time to stop doing this, if everybody keeps their grass really high, meaning they keep all their walls up, they stay guarded, and they're like, I don't trust you, I don't trust you, I don't trust you, I'm not gonna let you in, I'm not gonna let you in, I'm not gonna let you in. A snake is gonna figure out how to move in there, and they're gonna bite you. Because you were so busy guarding, and then what makes it worse is that you did all this and you let someone in, and the first thing you're gonna be like is, this is why I don't trust nobody, and then you put up more walls. But the snake is always gonna figure out a way in. It's on you to work on yourself, get rid of your walls, cut that tall grass, right? And then you can see anything that's coming towards you. Period. And then change up what kind of man you're looking for. Like, I'm not saying that any of the women in here that are struggling to find a relationship are picking for the wrong reasons. But if the only time you find a man is at a bar, if the only time you find a man is at this place or this place, change up what you're doing. Like, think about it. If you want a church-going man, you gonna find him at the bar? Maybe. Or you're gonna find him at church. If you want a man that's doing something with his life, where are you gonna find that man at? Because I know if I'm single, like after my divorce, when I was separated in my divorce, you couldn't have found me anywhere because I didn't get on dating apps, and I just kept working. And I was taking care of my kid. Like, a woman wasn't gonna find me somewhere other than my business or with my kids. And honestly, that's most really good men. Even if they're single, they might get on a dating app, right? But like, if you plan on trying to find love on Tinder, come on, B. Like, that just doesn't even make sense. It's not saying it can't happen. I'm just saying, like, the odds are not in your favor. And, like, what are you presenting out there? Again, you do you, and all you women can do you. By all means, no one's saying you can't do you. But, like, if I go on Instagram, right, say we're chopping it up and we're talking and we exchange numbers, and then I look at your social media and you just have butt naked and you're not making checks from it, this isn't your job, you're just doing it for doing it, I don't know if that I'm going to entertain that. And I'm not knocking it. I don't know if I'm going to entertain it because I don't want that stress in my life. I don't want it. I don't need it. It's just not for me. That could be a generational thing or whatever it is. I'm 44. I ain't got time for all that. I don't. And so, and I'm not knocking the women that do it. Do it. Hopefully you're getting a check from it. Hopefully you're getting a bag from it. But if you're just doing it and you live for the likes and you live for the comments and you get a high from it, I ain't got time for all that, man. Because that means your life is caught up in something else. And good for you. Do you. So I'm saying, like, you got to look at where you want to go in your life, right? If you're here and you're trying to get here, how are you going to get there? And then what kind of man do you really want? So, Michelle, nothing, been married for 10 years and you speaking all facts, just soaking up the free game. Thank you, Michelle. Attract him in the eyes. Nothing is wrong at all with being feminine all the time. To be feminine. What's your thoughts on a man who cries in front of you considering he never expresses his feelings? Look, I shed tears over weird things, man. If my kid comes home with really good grades, I might shed tears because I'm so proud. Like, there's this mixed bag right now that people are having debates about. Should a man open up and be honest with his wife? Should a man be emotional and with his wife? Should he show emotion with his wife? And I am of the side, a man should be able to communicate his emotions and be emotionally intelligent with his wife. And if that means he's shedding tears, then so be it. I don't, however, believe that a man should be so emotional that he can't function with his life. So you can have a day, or let me say this again. You can have a moment where you express yourself and maybe you become emotional. But that shouldn't stop you from going to work. That shouldn't stop you from getting the things done. That shouldn't stop you from being a provider. Right? Emotional intelligence doesn't take from everything else. That is the next evolution of man. That is what helps make a man even better, when he learns how to properly communicate his own emotions. The thing is, a lot of times, women aren't always open to hear that emotionally intelligent man. Because now if I tell you, hey, this behavior is unacceptable and I'm not going to tolerate it and I don't want to deal with it. Just like I said with the Instagram stuff. Like, I'm honest. Like, this isn't for me. I'm not going to accept this behavior because I don't want a whole bunch of men DMing you and all this stuff. You are beautiful. I want you to, but I want to be the one to truly enjoy your beauty unless you're making a check from it. Right? If you're making a bag, I'm not going to tell you what not to do until we have a discussion and I'm able to pay your bills. Right? Then we can have a different discussion. And even then, I'm going to know your value system. Like, oh yeah, like, when I'm married, I don't want to do this and I don't want to do that. Because think about it, when you get married, like, kids are mean. Like, when we had mama jokes back in the day, we were mean. I can't even imagine a mama joke if I'd seen someone's mom half naked on social media. Oh wait, I'm eating them up. I'm eating that kid up. Okay? So, but I don't mind saying that, right? I'll be clear. And if that means the relationship isn't for me, I'm okay with that. And to me, that doesn't make me insecure. That makes me highly secure in what I want. And we're just not meant to be. And that's okay. Right? So I'm all for a man being able to communicate his emotions. And then if he has an emotional reaction, like if he's shedding tears or something like that, that's cool. And I understand why that might scare a woman. But it's all about how he's presenting it and what he's doing. Right? I'm not ashamed of my emotions. I am who I am. But I guarantee you that I'm going to still go to work. I guarantee you I'm still going to do what needs to be done. Nothing is going to slip in my house because I'm emotionally intelligent enough to be able to express myself. I know what it's like when I'm cut off from my emotions. No woman wants to be with me then because you're not going to get the type of love that you want, right? Thank you, Mary Beth. That's kind of what I do. Appreciate you. I would give him a soft place to do that. Exactly. If his friend passed or family, then I would console, but crying, but not talking to you about what's wrong isn't my type of. Wait, what? If his friend passed or family, then I would console, but crying, but not talk. Yeah, he should talk to you about it. He should, but he might be going through something and he just needs to get it out before he could talk, right? And that's okay. If there's a cure for this, I don't want it. I don't need it. Wait, what'd she say? Wrong isn't my type of guy. What isn't your type of guy? I'm confused. What isn't your type of guy?
I think if he cries.
Oh, yeah, if he cry, okay. Yeah. If he cries and he's just crying all the time and he's not, nah. That would scare, I would be worried for him. Right? And because he can't be there for you in the way that you need. Right? So I'm not saying just crying just to cry. Again, emotional intelligence means he's able to express himself verbally, right? So, man, this topic went over well. And I appreciate y'all following me. I appreciate the likes. I appreciate all that. Man, DM me. Let me know what, yes, you can, but you have to want it. So let me know if there's some topics y'all want me to talk about. Basically, this one was just, you can't tame a man in the way that you think. Support that man, love that man, be a woman. Be a woman to that man. Be in your true feminine. And you'll be shocked. The cream will rise to the top. That man will show up. That man will work his butt off to become better. I promise you. Promise you that. So, and if you're dealing with boys, man, that sucks. But you'll figure it out. So, thank y'all for joining in. This is You Control You. Man, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all all the time. See y'all next Monday. Same time, same channel. You know how we do. Holla. Peace. Bang. Winning.